Welcome to this look at a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. BACURI Farm 2K22, that's where I find myself. This is new over to FS22 from Lostgamer, 172.15 megabytes download. If I recall correctly, on FS19 there were two different versions of this map by two different map makers. Yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there. The map looks like this. I'm on New Farmer, as I always am for my map tours, and we start with this plot here in Field 13, which is a bit interesting. The main farm area is down here. We'll get to that later on. Field prices are fairly expensive. You can't buy all of the plots, interestingly. That's 500,000, 484. We come down, and there's a little plot there, but that's part of the quarry plot. So that's 416. But as we come further south, well, that one's actually fairly pricey. 2.02 million, 2.5, 2.3. So yeah, prices are up there. Now, as we go around, there's plots that we can buy, like that little house there, and some of these, which is great. As we come across, we can buy some of the plots that have got production chains on and buildings on, which is great for placeables. As we come down here, there's a couple of plots that we can't buy. That's going to become quite significant later on. And the main farm area, which again we'll get to later on, that plot is going to cost you 553,840. That will become relevant later. There are contracts available on the map. There are two additional crop types. On the mod hub description, it only says about coffee, but there's black bean on here as well. If we go into, that's the one we want, and we look at our crops on the right hand side, if we go across one crop type, you can see there black bean and coffee beans, which is great. Black bean you plant with a seeder or a planter. Actually, if we go into there, I'll show you. Go down to seeders. That's not seeders. That was mulchers. Seeders, you'll see on the end there at the bottom, black bean. If we go to planters, on the end there, black bean. So seeders or planters will plant your black bean. For harvesting black bean, that's just done with a regular header. As you can see there, the regular headers will do black bean for harvesting. So not a corn header or anything like that, regular. But as far as coffee goes, there's a required mod, which it also doesn't say on the website, but when you go to download the map, it will ask you if you want to download it to install it. And it was part of the Jacto pack, and it's the Jacto K3500, that is the coffee harvester. So if you want to do coffee, you need that mod installed. That's a required mod to have that going. Now, mods added in by the map maker. Other than that, which is a required mod, we go into build mode. We have got on the end there, hay shed, BACURI Farm. I don't think, oh yes, yeah, we have silos on the end there. The BACURI Farm 2K22, 3 million litre silo. Nothing under silo extensions, containers, farmhouses. There's the BACURI Farm farmhouse. Under productions, interestingly, we've got the oil mill. Now, the oil mill has got an addition of soybean on there, so as well as sunflower, olives, and canola, there's soybean. So that's a modded one, that's on the map already. But the coffee facility isn't there as a separate mod. It's fixed in place on the map, which again we'll have a look at. There's nothing under sell points, greenhouses, but under orchards, that's where you'll find your coffee. Like it was in the previous map I looked at today, you may not watch that mod review, but map tour, but we've got grapevines, olives, and this is where you do coffee trees. I'll show you in a bit when we get down to where the coffee roasting facility is, because we own that plot of land there, and we'll have a look at that. Nothing under generators or animals. The animal pens on here are fixed in place. Decoration, there wasn't anything but landscaping. And the painting, we've got a few extra textures there, cobblestones, some dirt textures, things that is interesting, that dirt texture. Again, we'll get to that later on. Under trees, I think we had... Do we have any under trees? That might have been plants. Yeah. It was textures and plants. If we go out that way, there we go. We've got a grass under the BACURI Farm. So that's mods and things added in by the map maker. We're going to grab the John Deere, not the John Deere, That's John Deere. Actually, this is all start equipment. We might as well talk about that while we're here. Slot count on new farmer is 768. Slot count on farm manager and start from scratch is 757. It only drops a little bit. The difference between the two is there's no silo on farm manager or start from scratch. Everything else is here. You start with all the same equipment and machinery. You just don't have the farm silo. So we'll see that later on. As far as start equipment goes, we've got the Massey Ferguson 6718S. We've got a T560 John Deere harvester. We've got the Claas Carrot 140 trailer. Header for the harvester, corn header for the harvester. We have got an Amazon cultivator. We've got an Amazon planter, front loader, and bucket. That's what we start with. We'll grab the why do I keep saying John Deere? Disconnect that. There is a custom number plate on here as well with Brazil on it. Let's just disconnect that. Pretty much all of your, not all of it, but pretty much all of your equipment and machinery requires some kind of maintenance. As you can see, bottom right, we're almost out of fuel and it needs some work. A few bits of equipment do. I'm going to spin, I say spin around the corner. As long as we don't run out of fuel before we get to where we're going, we'll be absolutely fine. Round behind our start point, we have got the Lizard Hortifruit sell point. This actually be a pretty good map for the watermelon and melon mod that came out, because there's a few different things there, but you've got watermelons there, so it'll probably work quite well on here. We've got the modded oil mill that does soybean just there. To our left, we've got the supermarket sell point just there. And then just a little bit further along to our right, we've got the coffee roasting facility. Now this is the same as the one that was on Alvarada, the Alvarada map that had coffee as well. So we can open this up here, you tip in there, so your coffee beans that come off of your plants will go into there, and then your roaster, I know it's quite loud, is in there. This building costs $437,000 to buy. It will roast your coffee. Your pallets will come out here. It's a 2-to-1. So you get half the amount of roasted coffee beans as coffee plant goes in. That makes sense. Yeah, that's right. I'll put the picture up now from the actual facility so you can see. So that would be your coffee roasting. Now, as I said, next door we've got the field that we own. So what I'm going to do is just go to production, go along to orchards. Just to show you, if you're going to do coffee, this is how you're going to do it. You put it in like grapevines or olive orchards, drag them out like that. And then it will be green. Once it goes white, it will allow you to put the next row down. Like so, and these will need to be, oh, where are we? These will need to be mulched, they'll need to be ploughed, they'll need to be fertilised, and then once they've run through their cycle and the coffee's on there and ready to be harvested, you get the Jacto coffee harvester, come along, and you can do your harvesting. So that's the coffee portion of this mod review. Moving on from here. Got some condominiums just here, flats if you come from the UK. And then we've got the main vehicle shop just to our right. It's a John Deere dealership. That is also the reset point. We do have, I'm going to grab a pickup actually because it's going to be quite slow getting around the map with this. What I do like, which is really cool, is if you look in the grass, this is really nice. Can I get up on the fence? There we go, look. In the flowers, you got the John Deere logo. How cool is that? That's brilliant, isn't it? Anyway, the store is just in there, and your workshop trigger is just there. The reset point is out in this large area here. Plenty of room for large machinery, large equipment. shouldn't have a problem. I am going to lease a pickup. Perfect. Where's, oh, it's right around the back, isn't it? Yeah, so it puts everything right around the back. If you lease anything or buy anything and you can't find it, it's probably all the way around here. There we go, right over the back. Now it does say on here there are 10 collectibles. I haven't found any, but if I go into this menu and we scroll down, it should say, oh, I shouldn't have started the engine, should I? Let's go down to there. So on the right hand side, it says collectibles collected 0 out of 10. I haven't found one yet, but it does say there are 10 on the map somewhere. So what we're going to do is just pop next door. Yeah, it'll be a bit quicker getting around with this. That's really cool. I do like that. We've got Supreme Milk. This is not a production chain, this is just a sell point for milk. Actually, I just wondered whether or not, has this got the, can you buy this plot? Where are we? Just here. You can. So you could, if you wanted to, there's plenty of milk mods available. You can have your sell point for milk here if you want to, and then if you buy the plot of land, you could stick a production chain dairy on here as well, so you can produce your other things as well. Most of the sell point areas are pretty flat, so as far as putting production chains on, as long as you can buy the plot of land, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Next door we've got a gas station, and over in the corner we've also got a workshop trigger here at the gas station too. Very helpful indeed. We're going to head north and then east. Now, a lot of this feels very familiar from the previous versions. Some of the things have changed. The start location's changed. The machinery store. There is a fair bit has changed, and obviously there's the addition of all the production chain stuff as well. But there's still a huge familiarity to it. The actual sort of map itself hasn't changed that much. Now, I don't know if we're going to see it. It might be a bit further along. That dirt texture I was talking about, it's a little bit different, and it looks like, and there might be a little bit there, just a little bit on the ground. It looks like there's been like a field fire. That's what it kind of gives you the look of. It's an interesting one. We'll see it a little bit more as we go further along. This area can all be bought as well, so as far as production chains go, you should be able to put stuff down here. We've got bales sell point, just in here. And then next door we've got the Lizard Agro Industrial sell point. As with a lot of the Brazilian maps, big facilities, huge facilities for the sell points. So there you go, Agro Industrial. We'll come all the way back out and continue. Well, once we're back out to the main road, we'll continue east. We're heading west at the moment, but we will do. Lighting's great. The lighting works well. The colour palette's nice. Shadows aren't too dark. Whoa. Bit of a wobble on. So coming up after this building, we've got the livestock market, which will be on the right hand side. There are animals in the field, but they are static. So there's your livestock market just in there. There's no sell point there, just a buy point. Now, that's what I'm talking about. This area here looks like there's been a crop fire. All this texture across the side here, this different dirt texture in between all the crop. It's interesting. I don't think I've ever come across it before on a map. I'm trying to think. I did think initially was it supposed to be a water texture, but when you go in to look at the textures, it's down as a dirt texture. So it's an interesting one, that. Something a bit different. Right, continuing right out to the northeast, we have got the lime quarry. This here I think is in the same place as it was. I think a lot of the sell points down this side are. I'm not going to drive all the way in to the quarry itself. It's quite bumpy down in here. But we'll step out and have a look. So, Down the bottom there, we've got a debris crusher down in there, and we've got a lime station just over there as you drive all the way down to the bottom. Now it's interesting because it does say, where are we? Limestone mine where you can go to get with your truck or preferred trailer. There is a challenge on the way. I don't know if the challenge is referring to the bumpy ground. I'm trying to think if that was on the description for the last version of this. It is pretty bumpy, you've got to be careful. I did wonder if there was some kind of challenge that had been added in, but I don't think there is. As far as I can tell, that's it. But there we go. Actually, now's probably a good time. So we started up the top there, did the sell points here and down to the field, down to the machinery store, then we did the Supreme Milk and then the gas station. We then come all up here, across the top there, we did the bales and we did agro-industrial, livestock market, past, like I say, the burn area, scorch area, to the quarry. We're just here at the quarry. We're going to come back out and we're going to head south now down the eastern side of the map. This is where we encounter a problem, and I'm thinking the map is going to have an update. A lot of maps do in the first couple of weeks. Sometimes because there's a few tweaks and things, often you know there's floating trees, there'll be odds and ends. This I think is not a serious problem, but it's a problem. There's a field just tucked away in there, but that's purchased with the quarry land. But here we've got the biogas plant. Now it does say in the description as well here, BGA fixed on the map where you can sell your silage. So we're driving, we've got two large silage clamps to the right hand side, and we've got the biogas plant. Now as you can see, there are no icons showing. Now what that normally means is you don't own the land yet. But once you buy the land, the icons will appear, and then you can use the biogas plant. If we go down and have a look here, it's not showing the production chain, so we don't have it already. But if we go back up to the land and we click on here for purchasing of land, we're on this bit here at the biogas plant, you can't buy it. If I click on that, I can buy that plot, I can buy that plot, that one, but I can't buy that or that. So there's no icons showing. I can't buy the plot of land, so no icons will pop up. I've been around it to see if they're just not showing, but they are here, and I can't find anything. It's interesting. I'm not quite sure, what to do about it. Also, you've got this massive open area, which would be great for placeables and stuff like that, more silage clamps, whatever you want to do, but you can't buy the plot of land to put anything on it. So yeah, potentially that could be an issue that might need to be resolved. But continuing south from here, we've got then the complete opposite. This is very strange. Next door, we've got sawmill or timber company, however you refer to it. Now this is down as a production chain, and it is here on the map. But here's the quirky thing about this one. When we go to this, buy building lizard timber for €1, pound, dollar, one. That's all, and it's yours. We might as well. We've got it. If we go down and have a look, we should have the timber now. There we go. We don't have any wood planks, but yeah, planks and wood chips, wood in for £1, euro, or dollar. A bargain, I think you'll agree. From here, we're going to go to the next sell point, which is Pioneer, which is, if I recall, was on the previous version as well. The fields are huge, as you can tell as we're driving down past them. I mean, absolutely massive. Contract work will take a while, but will pay pretty well. Obviously, depending on what game mode you're playing on. Got to be careful here. I'm not going to go all the way through the facility, but it's another big facility with the Pioneer sell point straight up in front of us. So underneath that section there is where you've got your Pioneer sell point. So we've just come all the way down here. We're now just here. The Pioneer sell point is there, dead ahead, and you can drive all the way around the facility if you wish. This plot of land you can buy. There are trees on here, so if you want to do a bit of forestry, you can do some on here. And then we're going to continue across west to the middle of the map. Now, this, if I recall, again, having done so many map tours and so many different versions of the game, I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure in the previous version as you started at the main farm here. So it's interesting that on all three game modes you don't own this at all. Not on New Farmer, Farm Manager, or Start from scratch. and you have to buy it. Like I say, it's pretty pricey. I'm going to have to borrow some money from the bank to show you. Because when we come in here, we've got no icons or anything showing at the moment. So what we'll do is just hop out. I'm going to borrow some money, bear with me a second, and then the icons will appear on the map. So at the moment, we're here, nothing is showing. Fantastic. So, we go back onto here, back up to the map, click on that, 553,840. Once we buy it, go back. We've now got the sleep trigger on there, we've got the silo on there, we've got chickens, and we've got cows. And like I said, the only difference between new farmer, farm manager, and start from scratch is on farm manager and start from scratch, you don't have this silo. Everything else is here, the chickens, the cows, the sleep trigger, you just don't have the silo. But you can purchase it, as we've already seen, it is in there. So sleep trigger is just there, wardrobe trigger is just around the side there. Silo, like I said, is a 3 million litre silo. Actually, I didn't check to see whether it's multi-fruit or not. If I remember, when I do the editing, if it's a multi-fruit silo, it will come up with a thumbs up. Who knows whether I remembered or not, we'll see. Big old grain dryer on the side there, which is rather cool. But anyway, chickens over here. The chickens will be, this does 200 chickens, if I recall correctly, 200 chickens. Feed points there. Egg pallets will spawn here. There are, it does say 6 barns. I guess that's possibly added in as one. There's 2 there. That one's closable. Open and closable. There's 3 across there. We've then got our cows. The cows do require water here as well. It's a big open pasture. Feed in, water in, milk comes out of here. That door does open. Dialogue box is just there. 450 cows this will hold. This gate does open, but there is also fencing. I love the way this fencing opens on other versions, so previous versions, but also other versions of South American maps. I like that. You can just pull the fence to one side. There's a little pond there. Now it does say about water, about there being contains 4 points of capture of water identified with icons on the map. I haven't seen any icons for water, in all honesty. Again, maybe they've been missed off, I don't know. But yeah, 450 cows will go into there. And again, once you've owned this block, there's plenty of space here for other silos, machine sheds, whatever you want to put on here, production chains. The world is your lobster. From here, we're going to head out west to the last couple of sell points. If my pickup ever starts moving, there we go. Got broken down from it then. That's not good. Out of the driveway, left, left, left. Avoiding traffic. Just to take a chance here. Farm dog was worried I was taking a chance there. There's more of that dirt texture there as well. That's why we think it was water, but I don't think it is, you know. So, whoa, wobble on again. I'm going to turn left in just a moment. As you can see, we're almost coming full circle. The gas station is just over there with the workshop trigger, but we turn left down into here, and we've got Agri-Industrial 2, another big facility, another sell point. That sell point's just over there. And then from here, we go right down into the southwest corner of the map. I think the only point on the map actually that you can sell your coffee, I think. We're going to head down to Lizard Storage. I suppose you could do a whole kind of thing if you were doing a Let's Play on here, if you're doing a storyline, a narrative of some description. With those dirt textures, if you took it as it was a sort of a burn area, that you kind of regrow it, you either do some landscaping or plough and replant, or, you know, that'd be quite cool. So, we've got a bit of a drive now, right down to the bottom. Again, giving some kind of scale to the fields. Bear in mind we're doing 75 miles an hour. To the facility right down here. Lizard storage. No, it's not a storage facility, it's just a sell point. But again, if you can buy the plot of land, which we'll double check in just a second, there are storage facilities and various different things regarding production chains you might be able to put on here. Let's have a quick check. So we're all the way down here now. You can buy that plot. So yeah, you could have it as a storage facility. Like I say, there are a few different warehouses and options available. And the sell point is just in there. And that, if we go back to the map, is the map. We started off down here, we took in all of these, went all the way across the top, all the way down the side, came across into the middle, we did that, and we came all the way down to there. That is BACURI FARM 2K22 by Lostgamer. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.